Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Today I am doing a gel fill and this sparkly blue glitter fade design. So this is what I started with. You can see this is about 2 weeks of growth or so. I could have gone 3 weeks, but I was wanting a change in design. So first I am going to be filing off the old design, and I'm going to be starting with my tapered Kupa bit. And I'm going to be using my Mani Pro. And I like the tapered bit because it's easier to see when you're going around like the cuticle area and the side walls, and it just helps so you can get into those areas a little bit better. And I'm not doing it on very high speed, pretty medium to low speed. If you're comfortable with a higher speed, you can do that, but I just like to keep it on about low to medium. And when I do my gel nails, I do the pink, or if you can do clear too if you wanted to do clear, but I have been using the pink, and then I do my design on top of that, so that way I can just file off the old design and start with a new design the next time. Instead of, I know some people do like pink and then they build out their free edge with the white, but I actually just do the design on top of the pink, so that way I can just file it off and I have the layer of gel underneath still, and then I can just apply the new design with my fill. And when I am filing, I try and make sure to keep the shape of the nail, as in keeping most of the product towards the apex or the middle of the nail where we would need the most strength. And I do have a safety bit that I would like to use, but for some reason I cannot get it to fit into my Mani Pro, and it is the Kupa bit, so I have no idea why I cannot get it to fit in there. But it does have a rounded top, so it is a lot easier if you're going around the cuticle areas, or if you're a little bit nervous about possibly cutting yourself or your clients. It does have that safety, a rounded top, so that way you do not cut your clients or yourself. I would like to use it, but for some reason it doesn't fit into my electric file. So then once I have filed off the old design and the bulk of the previous gel, I just dust off my nails with a fluffy nail brush. Make sure and get most of that dust off underneath the nails and around the cuticles especially. And then I am going to be using my 99% isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free wipe just to cleanse the nails of any dirt or any extra dust that might be on there before we start to push the cuticles back and do the prep work. I do plan on getting one of those vacuum, I guess a desk vacuum that vacuums all the dust out while you're e-filing, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I know there is a lot of dust. So I'm just using this cuticle pusher to gently push back my cuticles. I know it looks like I might be pushing a little bit hard, but I am just doing it gently. And I like this one because the curve of the cuticle pusher is a little bit of a flatter curve. I have seen ones where they have a very strong curve to them, and I just don't feel like they fit around the nail quite as well as this one. And then I'm going in with the other side and just scraping off any extra dead skin or an eponychium that might be still stuck around my nails. Just want to make sure and get all of that out. And again, just doing this gently. Then I am going to go around my cuticles with my Atwood mini skiver bit. And this is a teeny tiny little bit that is great for going around the cuticles just to do any extra cleanup, making sure that all of that dead skin is off around the nail. And then I also use it to prep the natural nail for the gel that we're going to be putting on. And as you can see, I did have a little bit of lifting on these first two fingers. So again, this is a great bit if that happens to you ever, to blend that gel with the natural nail, and it just takes off any of the little tiny pieces that have lifted off. And I think this bit was only about $10 to $12 or so, and I would say this is one of my favorite bits. to have because it really saves you a lot of time going around the cuticles and just getting all that, so you don't have to go back with your file and then file around the cuticle and prep the natural nail. It can do all those things at once. Then I'm going to use my Light Elegance Perfect file, and this is a 100 and 180 grit. And I'm going to be shaping my nails a little bit shorter. I just wanted to go a little bit shorter this time. And still keeping with the square shape. And then at this time, if I see any extra bulk product or something, I just make sure and blend all that out. And I always use a brand new file every single time, even if it's just on myself, definitely with other people, with clients, but I always use a brand new one on myself also, because you don't want to use an old one that may have collected dust inside of it or oils, and then go and file your nails, and then you're putting all that dust and oils back onto your nails. So I always use a brand new one every single time. Then I am just cleansing the nails again with the alcohol, getting any of that extra dust off, and a lint-free wipe. Then I'm going to go in with my C&D Nail Fresh, and this is just a dehydrator, just again to make sure any of the extra oils are off of the nails, and I'm just going to be applying that straight onto the nails right there. Then I'm using my Young Nails Protein Bond, a non-acid primer, and I'm just going to be applying that to the natural nails just very, very sparingly. You do not need a lot of this. Then I'm going in with my Light Elegance number 4 flat brush. It does say oval on the brush, but it is the flat brush. I'm not sure why it says oval. And the new Power Bond Bonder by Light Elegance. This is a fairly new product. You can see that I just have a sample of it, but I have tried it out and I really, really like it. And I don't really like the brush that comes in the bottle, so I put just a drop of it on to some foil here, and then I take that number 4 oval brush and use that to apply the bonder. I just feel like I can get a better application, more even application with that, and I can really, I guess, push it into the nail a little bit. Then we are going to cure this in the UV lamp for 2 minutes. Some of the Light Elegance products do cure in LED, but I just have the ones that cure in UV. Then I'm using my EnVogue gel brush. It's just a square flat gel brush. And I'm using the Light Elegance Cosmetic Pink Builder, and this is a cover pink, so it's pretty opaque. And I'm just going to be putting most of the product first into the apex of the nail, and then gently, gently pushing it around, trying my best to create an even nail here. This stuff is pretty thick, so it can be a little tricky to work with if you are not used to it. Some gels self-level themselves pretty easy, and this one definitely does not self-level. So it does take a little bit of practice to get used to it. But again, this is just a fill, so not really trying to like build a whole new nail here, just trying to fill in the product. And I am going to be finish filing the nails after the design, so I'm not super concerned about making sure that it's perfect. Definitely want to make sure that it's as even as possible, but if there is a slight bump somewhere or something, I don't worry too much about it because I'm going to be finish filing afterwards. If you wanted to file these nails after you cure them, you can definitely do that. It's up to you. It just does take a little bit more time, and since I'm going, again, to be finish filing after the design, I don't really worry too much about it because they do even out at the end. But I do try my best to get them pretty even from the start. And the way you manipulate the gel is just a very light touch, just floating the gel around the nail. You don't want to push very hard or else you'll create divots in the nail and create a very uneven nail. It's just a really light touch, just floating that gel around. And because this gel is so thick. I don't really worry about doing the thumb separately because the gel is not going to move on my other fingers while I'm applying the gel on my thumb. And then once I'm all done with that, I'm going to cure for 2 minutes in the UV light. Then I'm taking my Light Elegance gel polish brush and my C&D blue gel. And this is just their primary blue gel, but I feel like it has like an electric blue quality to it. I really, really like this color. And sorry guys, I thought I was recording but realized I wasn't. I just put a little bit of blue on the tips of my nails. Then I'm going to gently just like drag the blue up a little bit. It's going to be kind of like a fade, but it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to put glitter over it. Then I'm going to wipe off the extra blue out of my brush so that I can again drag some of that product up and make sure that it's fading a little bit. And then if you get some of the blue gel on your cuticles, I just use this brush with a little bit of alcohol just to clean up around the edges there. And I don't know if it had a name or not, but it has a rubbed off if it did. Then I'm going to cure that for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to go in with my second coat of blue and focusing again most of the product towards the free edge here and blending that upward. Then curing that for 2 minutes. Then I have this gel brush that I only use for glitter, pretty much because it's the oldest gel brush that I have. I pretty much bought it when I started beauty school, so I just keep this one just for glitter. And I'm using the Light Elegance Caribbean Glitter Gel, this really pretty blue glitter gel. And I'm pretty much going to do the same thing that I did with the blue color gel, focusing most of the product towards the free edge and just dragging it upwards. Then I'm going to cure that for 2 minutes and then do a second coat of the glitter. You could just do one coat, but I just love glitter way too much, so I had to do a second. Then once you're done with all that, going to cure again for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to use the Light Elegance Cool Gel, and this is just a clear gel, and it does self-level pretty easily. And I'm going to encapsulate the whole nail with the color and the glitter because the reason I do this is sometimes when you put color and glitter and a whole bunch of other stuff on there, the nails can start to look a little bit bumpy, or especially if you're doing like this, like a fade, you can get most of the product towards the end of your nail because you're doing a fade, and that's not really where you want the most of your product to be. And then sometimes just the shape of the nail can just get a little bit lumpy or bumpy or something like that because of all the different layers that you're doing. So I just go over with a, I would say thin to medium layer of the clear gel. It doesn't have to be super thick, but you don't want it to be paper thin because we are going to file and shape these nails once we're done. So then once you have applied that clear layer, go ahead and cure for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to cleanse the tacky layer off my nails with the 99% alcohol and a lint-free wipe. Then I'm going to be using my file, and I'm going to just be reshaping the nails, just filing the free edge just to make sure that they look very clean and crisp. Those lines look clean and crisp. And then for filing the top of my nails, I'm going to just be, and I'm using the 180 side, I'm not using the very coarse side. And I'm going to be focusing on the sides and the cuticle area first before I go and shape the top, because again, we want the bulk of our product being at the top, because that is where we get the most strength from that apex area. So you want to make sure that you go in and file the cuticle area and the side walls first, so that way you don't file away all of your product from the middle. And then here is what we are left with. I feel like the shape is a lot better than before. I hope you guys can tell after I've filed and shaped them. And then here is what they look like next to my other hand that still needs to be filled. And so we are going to be using the Light Elegance top gloss, and I really like this top coat because it doesn't leave a tacky layer behind, so you don't have to worry about, one extra step. It really, they really are shiny afterwards, and once you cure it, then it's done. You don't have to worry about cleansing that tacky layer off the top. And I have not noticed any yellowing or anything like that with this top coat. I know sometimes top coats that you don't have to cleanse the tacky layer, they do tend to yellow. At least that's what I've heard. This is the first one I've tried, and I haven't noticed any yellowing or anything like that at all. So then we are going to cure that in the light for about 3 minutes. I like to do an extra minute because I feel like it cures it a little bit better, and making sure to cap all the edges. And then we are going to be using this EnVogue cuticle oil. I know my cuticles are pretty dry. It's winter time right now, and my skin is already dry in the first place. So I do apply cuticle oil, even if it doesn't look like it. My skin is just pretty dry on its own. And there is what we are left with, these beautiful blue sparkly glitter fade nails. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I didn't leave anything out. This is my first full nail tutorial, I guess you could say. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them. Or if you felt like I missed something, please just go ahead and ask, and I will definitely answer your questions to the best that I can. And if you have any other tutorials or anything that you'd like to see, please go and comment below, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.